Aston Villa this weekend. We're going to hear from both bosses, starting with Jurgen Klopp.
I'm really sorry to disappoint you directly at the start. But you cannot talk about that because nothing really happened yet. All the decisive stuff has to happen. So it's Friday, right? If something happens, we can talk about it on Sunday.
Okay. If it is to happen, would that be the only arrival?
What would it be?
Would it be the only new arrival on deadline day, or are you in the market for other reasons?
Whatever. It's deadline day, so I don't want to kill the excitement of the people. You never know. But I'm busy today with other things.
With that in mind, then, is Konate fit for the weekend? Obviously, you got Virgil suspended, and back onto transfers. Is centre half the next area that you're looking to strengthen? Could there be a chance that you do it today? Just thinking that obviously Virgil's
if we could bring in a centre half for a weekend, we would think about it. No, we can't. Ibu, no, will not be ready for the game.
How difficult then, whoever plays, is it to keep Villa quiet? And obviously the way that they've started the season, it looks like they could be a threat for the European spots.
Definitely, there will be. Saw the game against Burnley. We saw now meanwhile pretty much all the games, but I watched it when it happened. And Burnley was good, to be honest, but Aston Villa is a machine, counter-attack, good organized. Everybody committed 100%. When they defend deep, then they defend deep with all. From there they go. I think everybody agrees when you look at Villa players they brought in, it makes massively sense. Have speed on the wings. Watkins up front. McGinn, super smart. Physical as well, but then really looking for these balls in behind and these kind of things. So it is a massive game, no doubt about it. And we have to play a top game to get something out of it, and we need Anfield as well. So that's what we have to make sure. I know that it always depends on the way we play, a little bit at least, and we have to do our part. But I know the people are ready to do their part, especially after last weekend and. After that is international break, so we could make a good start or turn it into a really good start into the season, result-wise. But the massive 115 minutes in between now and then.
And sorry to ask once again, but just to check, has there been any offer at all for Mo Salah as yet? And I take it that your position, the club's position, remains the same as regards if an offer were to come in.
The position remains the same. Absolutely, no doubt about that. We cannot. That's how it is. But nothing else to say.
No offer.
Not as far as that I know, but that doesn't mean a lot, to be honest.
Personally, I played against Liverpool with Villarreal 2 years ago in Champions League. We lost. Last year we played at home. We lost. In Anfield, we drew. Very good match we did. Very, very competitive match. And in a very key moment, because we needed to add 1 point or 3 to be in Europe. And we did it. And they were fighting, trying to get the top 4 position to play in Champions League. And that is the sample I want to use.
Well, this should be a really good game as well. And I think Liverpool fans will be delighted that Mo Salah is still a Liverpool player, although the transfer window might shut here. It doesn't shut elsewhere until later on in the month. So that we'll talk about a little bit more later on. But as for Liverpool, we touched on it earlier, but Karen, they beat Newcastle, but it was the fashion in which they came back to beat them. How big a win was it for them?
Massive. Character. They were really up against it. I was worried for Trent Alexander-Arnold early on when he was on that yellow card and could have gone. You lose Van Dijk and you're thinking, but when you've got a front line that start with 3 that are world class, and then you go, okay, well, that's not working. We'll bring on another 3 that are world class. There's going to be opportunities. And last week it fell to Nunez and he took both chances brilliantly. But I thought it was a real dogged performance, a group that came together. And it was a great win.
And from Nuno's perspective, it was really big of him, wasn't it? Especially for a striker's confidence. What will those goals have given him?
Well, I think he believed in himself, but he just needed the goals to go and show everybody else, really. Again, arrived for an awful lot of money from Benfica a couple of seasons ago. And now we've got the likes of McAllister, Salah, who's decided to stay, of course, after all the furore today, all the talk. And I always fancied Liverpool at Anfield. For some reason, I don't know why, I just think they're a brilliant home side. When that crowd gets up as well. And of course, Aston Villa, Unai Emery, brilliant what he's done there. You know, Diaby, Ollie Watkins, England strike. Is he in the England squad? I'm sure if he is, Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is.
John McGinn, got really, really good players. They've got good wide players, pace. And they've had a couple of good results. I know they got thumped at Newcastle in the opening day. Really good performance against Everton last week or the week before. And I think it's a really good game. I think it's an open game. Could go either way, but I just fancy Liverpool. I always fancy them at Anfield. I don't know why. I can never go against Liverpool at Anfield. They're just so good.
I think so much of the talk about Liverpool over the years has been about Liverpool's midfield, how it was an ageing midfield of Hendo, Milner, Fabinho, but now it's completely transformed, hasn't it, Karen?
It is. McAllister, world-class winner. You know, Enzo coming in, his energy, his pressing, how he controls the ball, and, you know, his strengths. I really, really like him. So it is a very new look Liverpool in that midfield area, and it might take a little bit of time to get used to, especially how, as you mentioned, the old guard was so... It was them always, and you always knew what the Liverpool 11 was. So it might take a bit of time, but like I said, when you've got a front line like Liverpool, it will always give you a great chance. And I think, not because I'm a Birmingham City fan, Seema, I'm agreeing with you there, John. I think at home they were just too good, too strong, that crowd, and their unbeaten run at the moment stretches back a long, long way now. Yeah. So, you know, that counts for a lot.
That said, with Villa, they pretty much have picked up from where they left off in terms of Unai Emery. He's working wonders with this side.
Yeah, he is. There's something about Unai Emery, isn't there? Didn't quite saying that.
No.
He still got Arsenal to Europa League final. Mm-hmm. He played Chelsea.
And I don't think he ever got the respect he deserved.
Beat Valencia in the semi-final, beat Napoli in the quarter-final during that period. So an incredible record at Sevilla in the Europa League. So he's an elite manager, and Villa have got a top manager there, and he's doing great things with them. Really is.
And there you go. I mean, Aston Villa, you can see just picking up from where they left off last season. I mean, it is early days, isn't it? We're only, match week 4? But still, there's so many positives about this side and about the way Unai Emery is managing these players.
Well, when he came in, I think they were in a real bad position. I can't remember how low down they were, but I think they were near, like, fighting for relegation, weren't they? And he bought one player, it was a left-back, and transformed their season last year, and I thought they were brilliant. He's brought some big players in this year. You know, Pau Torres, I remember me and Michael Owen on the opening day, we're talking, that was, for me, a player to watch out for Aston Villa. Diaby's come in. Can he continue to get the best out of Ollie Watkins? So they've got some top players in the team. And as John said there, he's an experienced manager, one that they think can get us European success. So this is why we've brought him in. And these are the expectations that we will have. And we'll give you those players to do so. But they were terrible against Newcastle, the opening game, but they've definitely corrected those mistakes and look a lot stronger the last couple of weeks.
So what do you think overall, early days again, as I said, but ambitions-wise for this season, what would their target be?
Again, I feel as if I'm repeating myself. A cup run. I think the Villa fans would love sort of a bit of joy. Remember Martin O'Neill being there. I think he finished 2 6th places in the Premier League. Got them to an FA Cup final, lost to Chelsea. I'm not quite sure since then, really. Yeah. Villa have been pretty much on the slide, if you like. I think the Villa fans now, they really feel they can go somewhere with this manager and the group of players they've got. What would be a success? A cup final, and of course, a good league position, you know, finish. Brighton finished 6th last season. What were Villa 8th? Can they get better than 8th? So just push on, just try and get as far up as you can.
Okay, well, that rounds up our preview.